As some of you may know, I make music. As some of you probably do not know, I am a board-certified music therapist. Often, when I tell people that, I am met with the question of, what is music therapy? So, in the service of promoting accessibility and knowledge around music therapy, here I will be trying to answer that question. So, what is music therapy? What I usually tell people is this: music therapy is the clinical practice of using music as a tool for healing. That is my own definition, and it usually seems to do the job on getting it to click in people's heads about generally what we do as music therapists. Another definition was put forward by one of the greatest and most bearded music therapists of all time, named Kenneth Bruscia. Bruscia wrote a very important book called Defining Music Therapy, and he, in this book, spent about 300 pages doing just that, defining music therapy. We spent the first 2 semesters of my undergraduate career going over just about half of that book. It's a pretty substantial and impressive book. He did indeed define music therapy. While I do think that an in-depth explanation of ideas is important, sometimes people just need a concise definition in order to make something click, to close the gap of understanding. But for the sake of respect and upstanding academic integrity, I will go ahead and tell you Kenneth Bruscia's definition of music therapy. Quote, "Music therapy is a reflexive process wherein the therapist helps the client to optimize the client's health, using various facets of music therapy experience and the relationships formed through them as the impetus for change. As defined here, music therapy is the professional practice component of the discipline, which informs and is informed by theory and research." Again, the next 300 pages of the book after that initial definitive statement are spent picking and prodding at each individual word and phrase in that specific definition. So I'll do just a bit of my own picking and prodding for my definition. And the 3 words that we will be picking and prodding at will be, first, clinical practice, second, music, and third, healing. So let's take a look. A clinical practice is a method by which a specialist who is trained and certified employs their skills to promote clients' health and goals. The clinician and the client enter into an agreement by which the client is seeking help and the clinician is seeking to provide help for the client. There are rules and standards about this therapeutic relationship that largely vary between professions, between locations and cultures, and these must be followed by the clinician and practitioners. The second word is music. Most of you are probably familiar with music. Music is the primary tool by which a music therapist uses to promote and implement change for the client. Music is multifaceted, and it can be used in many different ways, including improvisation, composition, collaborative music, or music recreation. I will likely go more into depth about examples of how music can be used in the future, but for now, just a few examples could be helping to promote motor skills, either fine motor skills such as finger dexterity or, speaking using lips and tongues to produce more specific articulations. They can be used to help stroke victims learn to reprogram their brains to be able to speak after the loss of skill of being able to speak. It can be used to strengthen social skills. It can be used to strengthen attention and attention spans. And just address various issues of the mind, the body, and the spirit. And the third word we'll look at is healing. Again, the therapeutic contract is between a clinician and a client that states the acknowledgement that the client could seek to heal. It's an acknowledgement that there is an unmet potential for the capacity of healing. This healing can be related to the mind, the body, or the spirit. And the music therapist uses music as a tool for the impetus of that change for each client. Music is uniquely able to access each domain of human functioning, whether it's emotional, social, psychological. Because of this versatility, it makes it an effective tool for a dynamic approach to the therapeutic process. So again, in short, my definition for music therapy is the clinical practice of using music as a tool for healing. If there are any more questions, if anyone has anything to add or any questions to ask, feel free to ask them in the comment section down below, and I will try to get back to you as soon as possible with an answer. I will also be making more videos in the future to go more in-depth into the processes and more of the details and nitty-gritty about how we do music therapy and specific things that we do to address specific causes. Thank you all so much for listening and learning with me here today. I hope to see you again in the future, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. See you next time. Bye.